Well, Graham, a defeat, but can you take encouragement and positivity from elements of the performance tonight?
Well, there's lots to learn in the performance tonight. I think we've lost the game because of a moment of indiscipline, a moment where in trying to compete for a ball, we've slid in and we've done what in the game nowadays you're always putting yourself at risk of a decision going against you when you do that. And that's the second home game now where we can feel unfortunate, but decisions have gone against us because decisions have been made by the referee based on us doing things that are giving him a chance to make the decisions he's made. So that's a big pointer for us. I think if you look at the way we reacted, there was some encouraging signs for a young team. We had to perform a rearguard action for long periods. That was inevitable. But the team hasn't been coached to deal with the 10-man situation, and on the whole, we dealt with it quite well. I think that the lack of forward thrust in the second half, the desire to hang on to something rather than to push for all three, I think cost us. And again, that's a point of learning. So there's aspects of the game that you can take encouragement from. Lots to learn. I think on the whole, against a 10-man side that's now 6 straight wins. You have to say that the sides at the top of the league are not a long way ahead of where we're at, and we've clearly got work to do to make sure that we become better than them. Yeah,
and in adversity, you kept going again, and as you say, the response was good by and large when something happened against you this evening.
Well, people have been saying to me we haven't been scoring enough goals at set pieces, and we've done a little bit of work and we've seen some progress there. So that's positive, that's good. There was a reaction in adversity, but what we need is not a reaction in adversity. We need a reaction to start a game. We started poorly tonight. They were a little bit brighter, a little bit better than the sides that we played in recent weeks. And I think that got on top of our football. It stopped us playing with the confidence, and we probably didn't show enough bravery and courage to get on the ball and pass it. We certainly didn't show enough movement. And recovery protocols Saturday to Tuesday, I was talking to the boys about how they were recovering and whether they were fueling right, and perhaps we need to learn in terms of how to recover and how to fuel, because I didn't think our energy levels were where they were at the weekend. So there's lots of positives to take. There's lots of areas where we can get better, lots of simple areas where we can get better, and I think that's the good thing, is when you're looking at a team and thinking I can make these much better just by introducing some simple procedures, simple steps forward. That's where encouragement comes from.
Just back to the moment with Ham, was it just high and studs up dangerous? Is that how the referee saw it?
Well, he slid to win the ball. We all know the minute that you slide to win a ball and your studs are anything like up nowadays, you could go. Was it a dangerous tackle? Was it a violent tackle? From where I was standing, not. There were other challenges in the game that were as violent as that. So you want consistency. Of course you want consistency, but we have to learn. If you go to ground in the modern game, you always give yourself a chance of going off.
And it's one of those where an appeal just seems a pointless task then on what you've said, because it's in the letter of the law.
I've not seen the incident again. I saw it live. I have to say, in my heart of hearts, that when I looked at it, I thought he could go, because I've seen so many players slide in, not maliciously, and end up with a red card nowadays. So there's no point dwelling on it. What we've got to learn is to stay on our feet and work harder to go and win balls. Going to ground is always a risk nowadays.
At 2-1, there was a big moment, wasn't there? Angle for own goal, lovely move involving Smith, and that could have been the moment that just gave you a bit of a cushion.
Well, possibly it kills the game, and in terms of individual players, I'm sure Lee, later on in his career, the word clinicality comes to mind. And you don't have to score great goals, you just have to put the ball in the net, and there's a simple way of scoring that goal. The goalkeeper's advancing, you slide it, and it's 3-1, and as you say, you've got that bigger cushion. They're always going to come at us, they're always going to have the lion's share of possession, because the extra man, it's not as though they haven't got good quality players at the level. The good quality players are always going to find space and give us problems. So we were always going to be on the back foot, if we're honest, in that second half. And as you say, the cushion would have been nice, but let's not bring it down to one miss or one moment. You can argue about our set play defending, which has cost us the third goal. There were a lot of moments in the game where we can get a lot better, and it's a question of adding the inches to our game and making sure that we improve game by game, week by week. There's clearly a lot that needs working on, but we are where we are. We've got the result that we've got, lots to learn, and that has to be positive.
Yeah, plenty to learn and things to pick up on, as you say, but are you satisfied with the character of your players? They were never settling for anything other than trying to fight back and get something from the game tonight.
Well, yeah, we fought back, and I want to commend the character or the work ethic. I think they gave what they had. I think what we need to learn is that there's an even more aggressive attitude that we can adopt in terms of having the belief to go and win the game. I mean, Connor Washington was playing up against their 2 centre halves. Other than that, we matched them all over the pitch. Numbers wise, that was the only inequality. Their spare man was at the back. We didn't need to drop off the game in defensive areas. We didn't need to drop off the game in midfield, and we showed what we had when we went 3-2 down. down. You know, the adversity meant we suddenly went back and got on top of the game. I want us on top of games, playing on the front foot from the off. I don't want us reacting to adversity and going to do that. We need to be much more positive with our football, much more attacking with our football than we were this evening.
And that will be the message, no doubt, going to Millwall on Saturday. Start well and start with that positivity that you're looking for.
Yeah, when you've got young players, there's always the danger that in a moment they won't have built sufficient confidence in themselves to play to the level they're capable of. And it's my job, Grant's job, the management team's job to instil that in the lads, the belief in the capabilities that they've got, because there's some very good players in there. We saw that at the weekend. We probably didn't recover well enough. You know, physically, I didn't think we were as edgy as we were at the weekend, and certainly then to additionally go down to 10 men made it a tough task. But as you know, as we've discussed, the discipline factor, the physical recovery factor, and then the courage factor to go and play the football that we're capable of, I think are all big messages for us.
And crowd were with you tonight when they big time. The message to them, will that be more of the same, please, against Millwall?
The crowd at the weekend were awesome away at Bradford, made a big difference to the team. I think tonight they stayed with us through the 90 minutes, and we need to be a strong football club. We need to be a club that does stay together through thick and thin. There'll be moments of adversity, moments of difficulty, moments where none of us enjoy it. And in those moments we have to retain a belief in each other and a belief that we all, you know, have the same convictions and the same ethos and philosophy. And if we stay together and get around these lads, I know there's a lot of ability in there, and I think we can bring the best of the ability out, bring the best of the talent out. This team can go a long way.
Just on adversity, we've heard today that Joe Gormley suffered quite a bad knee injury. How is he? Just awful news for the lad, of course.
Well, yeah, it's awful news. I think he knew instantaneously that, you know, it was a difficult situation he was in, and he's been very positive, as you'd expect him to be. He's a professional. He's got good people around him. He's got a medical team around him, and you know, a big part of coming back is how you react right now. And he's in a positive frame of mind. We've got a plan together for him, and you know, we've got a date in the diary. Jack Baldwin's nearly back. He can look at Jack and see the road to recovery that he's made, and you know, Joe will be down that road you know, as soon as he gets the operation under his belt. So yeah, it's disappointing for him, but you know, he's got to make sure he comes back stronger. Lots of opportunity while he's out to improve tactically, because you watch a lot of football when you're injured, and you can take on board a lot of lessons and a lot of learning about how to play the game. So we need to make sure that he gets that on board and comes back a stronger player.